Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Got a good one for you today. We're going to learn how to build a chatbot with memory. How to make an OpenAI chatbot in Microsoft Access that remembers the conversation. Now, I've done a couple of videos before like this one where I show you how to take your Access database and connect it to OpenAI. That's the company behind ChatGPT. They've got an engine you can basically send requests to and get responses back, and it turns your Access database into a simple chatbot, but it doesn't remember the previous conversation, right? It's very simple. You get a basic question and answer chatbot. So what we're going to do today is we're going to rustle us up a couple of low mileage pit wolfies and help them build a memory. Anybody? Star Trek fans out there? No? Remember that one? So instead of treating every request as a brand new conversation, you can have the system remember the entire thread, just like ChatGPT does in the browser. It remembers everything you talked about. And you can have multiple different conversations, right? And this, of course, opens the door to some very much more practical business uses. What kind of stuff? Well, you can do customer service, customer support tracking. The bot can remember a history of everything that was talked about with the client. You can talk to your database about an ongoing project, keep all that in the database itself. Internal help desk stuff, sales and CRM, training and onboarding, right? You can basically set up one of your employees and have the thread there right inside the database of everything that they've learned so far. I use this myself for quizzes. You can have the system quiz you and remember what questions it asked, right? The list is endless. Let me give you a little demo of what I built myself. So here's my little sample database that I built just to test all the concepts out. I got a little Star Trek talk. I was chatting Star Trek. I was doing a little role-playing D&D adventure with it, and I had to give me an anatomy quiz. So let's do another sample conversation here. We'll just say sample, right? And then up top here is where you type in what you want to say. Say, it was a shame that Firefly only had one season. Okay, and I'm going to send that to the chatbot. We'll get back a response. And here you can see it replied with, yeah, it really was. Firefly had so much potential, blah, blah, blah. We got a Serenity movie, blah, blah, blah. Now, if at this point, if I just said to you, any word on a season, I can't type that, season 2, right? Normally, if I wasn't sending the conversation thread back, it would have no clue what I'm talking about, any word on a season 2. But now, since I'm sending the entire thread back, it says, sadly, there are no official plans for a Firefly Season 2. See, now it can remember the entire conversation. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do in today's video. Long live brown coats. All right, so before we get started, this is definitely a developer level video. If you've never done any VBA programming before, go watch this video. In this video, I teach you how to get started working with OpenAI and Microsoft Access. So go watch this video to get all the basics. Now, after that video, I did another video teaching you how to get images from OpenAI, where you can send it a request for a picture and it'll give you a picture back. And in this database, I made some improvements and some enhancements. So you're going to want to watch this one too, even if you don't care about pictures, to get what those extra enhancements are. Just some changes to the code, and I switched the API model to 4.1 and a few other minor details. And gold members, I'm going to be working with this database. I'm going to be starting from the database that I ended this video with. So I'm going to grab this video right here, or this database right there is what I'm going to be starting with. Silver members and non-members, you're going to have to just build the database following these other two videos, okay? All right, so here's the database at the end of the images from OpenAI video. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put our API key in here that you get from OpenAI. I'm not going to show you mine. No, you may not have it. All right, let's modify this guy, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so we got some more room here. This is my text box. I want this to be bigger so I got plenty of room to type in my text that I'm going to send to it. So make that nice and big. We'll keep the button, and we'll keep the combo box. That's going to be our send to AI button, and we're going to make a bot for the instructions. And I'm going to make two more text boxes here. I'm just going to copy this one. Copy, paste, paste. All right, so the first text box is going to be to handle the AI's response. So we'll call this guy response. And then the one on the bottom down here is going to store the entire thread. We're going to keep track of everything that was said in the conversation. Yes, the way this works basically is that you have to send back the entire conversation every time you send a request to the AI. And we're going to instruct it to say, here's the conversation so far. Here's the next bit of information. Now give me a reply. That's basically how it works. And that's essentially what ChatGPT does behind the scenes in the web browser version, is it remembers the conversation because it has to constantly parse over that entire thread. While we're doing this, let's change the color just so it's a little bit different from the other one. Okay, that's good. Let's make this like a light blue. I like to just, distinguish stuff. Okay, and this will be gray because this will be our thread. We'll do a light gray. Okay. All right, good enough. We don't need this unless you plan on using the OpenAI images button. I'll just slide it down here. And status, we're going to use this to see different stuff that's happening. Okay, looks good. Save it. Now, we do have to make a couple of minor adjustments in the code because they do make some changes from time to time with the API. So once in a while, I got to make an adjustment. For example, if I say hi there and try to send it, I get back this refusal no, because now we have to look for just the quote comma. There's no longer a curly brace there. So it's a real easy fix. Just go into your global modifications, find your Ask OpenAI function. This is the guy that actually sends the data and gets the response, right? I'm going to keep GPT 4.1 as my model. It's currently October 2nd, 2025, and I think this is still the best model. There is a GPT 5 available, as well as a 5 mini and a 5 nano. I don't like them. 5 by itself is way too slow, and mini and nano I don't get good responses from. So I like 4.1. It's got the best response to time ratio, I think. Now we're just looking for our response text equals line, this guy right here, okay? And we no longer have that curly brace there, so we're going to replace this with just another double quote like that. We're going to look for that double quote comma at the end. Save that, and now we should get a response. And there we go. Hi there. Okay. Come on. Oh, I'm waiting for it to reply because I'm used to my chatbot that I already built. We gave it the correct spelling only, so it took that, it capitalized the H in the period. Okay, so it's working. I was like, why aren't you responding? Okay. Now, one thing we are going to do is come into the code behind the main menu here. All right, I have a button for it up here. This brings me right to the code in the main menu. If you don't have that, then you'll have to come in here and go into one of the events that way. There is a status sub in here. I'm going to delete that because the newer version of this template, we have a global status function that has a bunch of extra features like the colors and stuff. Now, the next step is we're going to create a bot that is going to be for a continuous conversation. All right, I'm going to call this my chatbot continuous. All right, now here's the prompt that I've been working with. I'm just going to share it with you. I'm going to copy and paste it from my notes. It says, you are an AI assistant in a continuous conversation. Each request I send will contain thread, the full transcript of everything said so far, maybe empty at the start, and then new, my latest query or comment, reply to new as if it's the next turn in the same ongoing conversation using thread as context. Do not repeat the thread in your reply. Be concise and natural. Respond, it should say respond. I've been using this, but it obviously knows what I'm talking about. Respond with plain text only, no formatting or markdown. Use only low ASCII characters, because I hate those curly quotes and M dashes, and it always wants to use them. Okay, that's the prompt I've been using, so we're going to just close that. And that is going to be bot number 7 now. All right, that's bot 7. So I'm going to make the default for this guy be 7, just so I don't have to keep changing it. Data, default value here, 7. Save it. Okay. Now, in our button, we have to behave a little differently if it is bot 7. Okay? So we're going to dim S as a string. I'm also going to dim a command text as a string because we're going to build a command text that we're going to send to it. Okay? First up, let's check to make sure that they actually type something in. We didn't do this before. If is null my text or my text equals an empty string, then status, your text required. You can give it a color if you want to, like, let's go red, like that. And then exits up. So if they don't type anything in, they're going to get an error message. Okay. Now, if bot combo, that's the bot we picked, equals 7, then it's a continuous conversation. Okay. If the thread is empty, then we're going to tell it it's empty. All right. So if is null, the thread box or thread equals blank, then command text equals thread, and then we'll put like empty like that. That just tells the AI that it's empty. And I'm going to put a blank line after it, VB new line. Okay. Otherwise, command text equals the thread is thread box and VB new line. And if. And yeah, we could put the thread up top here and then just add empty or whatever. You know what I'm doing. Okay. Now here's where we're going to add the new the new text. All right. So now command text equals command text, and the new stuff is my text. Okay. Else, this is a single one-off message, and here all we got to do is basically say command text equals my text, and if. Right. In other words, they're not using bot 7; they're using one of the other ones. I'm going to status it right here. We're going to send it to OpenAI. So we're going to say here, send to OpenAI. All right, so status, sending. And you can put the whole command text here if you want to see what it is. That's fine. Let's make it yellowish. There, I had to look up a yellow color. Now we're going to say S equals ask OpenAI. We're going to send it the command text and bot 7, or bot combo in this case. Bot combo. Okay, now the response is going to come back. So response equals S. Why don't I just put response equals ask OpenAI on one line instead of using that temporary variable? I don't know. No. Because in some other versions, I actually do some other stuff with that S. This is just a simple version of it. But yeah, I like to use string variables if I can instead of sending text boxes. Okay, so now we're going to store that in the thread. Okay, so if bot combo equals 7, again, conversation, right? Then thread equals thread and VB new line. Give it a new line after that. VB new line. And we're going to say the user said my text and VB new line, and let's go to the next line. OpenAI said response. So it's going to take the thread, and why is it not reading the thread? I didn't name this guy, did I? Nope, still text 21. See that capitalization is important. Thread. And now if I did something like this and press enter, yep, see now it finds it. Okay. That watching for the capitalization trick, that'll help you a lot of the times. That's why I always type in my variables in here lowercase. All right, so we've added to the thread the new my text and response. And now we're going to set my text equals blank. So we're ready for our next thing, right? And then we'll do a my text.set focus. So after I push the button, it sends it, it updates the thread, then it puts me back up ready to type in another conversation. Okay. And that should do it. This is all the old stuff. We can get rid of that. And I believe actually Ask OpenAI has code in it that handles the sending. Let me see here. Yeah, this guy has sending to OpenAI, so we don't need that. We can get rid of this extra sending here. Because Ask OpenAI takes care of updating the status. All right, save it, debug, compile. Another thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to make this the default button, so when I hit enter, it pushes that. So I can just type, hit enter. I'll see the response. Type again, hit enter. Right? So other default button. Save it. All right, there are a couple of little minor modifications we still have to make for some other situations, but we might be good enough now to test it. Let's try it. Ready? Hi there. Enter. Oh, bad request. All right. We got to fix it right now. Here's the problem. It took me a few minutes to troubleshoot this. When we send stuff and get replies back, we have to get rid of any VB Newline characters, okay? Because they're not JSON friendly. JSON is this format that we're sending, right? This stuff here is all JSON. It's a particular format. We have to get rid of Newline characters, and we have to get rid of double quotes in our user content, our system message, and then we have to account for them in the response text that comes back. It's not hard to do. It's just a simple replace. But we're going to come right up here. All right, we're going to say user content equals replace user content, comma, VB Newline, comma. We have to replace it with a \n. All right, so anywhere that there's a Newline character coming in, we got to replace it with a \n. We also have to do the same thing with any double quotes. Those have to be what's called escaped. All right, so here we're going to take a double quote and replace it with a / double quote. See that? Okay, then we have to do the same thing with the system. Oh, the system message is down here. So let's just move this down a little bit. The system messages are instructions, are bot instructions. So you can now put quotes and lines in there if you want to. So system message, we'll do that next. Okay, and then when we get the reply, the response, we have to go the other way. So down here, here's the response text. All right, we're already replacing CHR10 with the VB Newline, but we're going to also do the same thing we did before. So we're going to replace /n is going to be replaced with the VB Newline, as well as /quote is going to be replaced with double quotes like that. Okay? In fact, we could put this up here and we'll close the object at that point, and then we'll do our cleanup. Okay, and that should do it. That was the problem. I ran into this problem. I'm like, what's going on? I had to analyze everything, and I figured I'd save you guys the time. Usually I'm like, see if you can pause a video and figure it out. No, it's one of those things that it's a headache. It's a hair puller. So you gotta clear these characters before they go across, because it'll mess this string up. Okay? All right, save it, debug, compile once in a while. Now let's give it a test and say, hi there. And enter. There we go. Understood. How can I help you today? My name is Rick. What's yours? Okay, I went through a few more. I'm like, let's talk about Star Trek, and I just kept saying this. I made a boo-boo, and I'm leaving it in the video so that it's a teaching moment for you. Now I want you to pause the video and see if you can figure out what I did. I messed up somewhere. I'll give you a hint. It's a copy and paste problem. And this is what happens when I don't take the time to carefully look at my notes and I'm talking to you and I don't catch something. You see it? It's right here. I copied these two lines and I'm saying user content is now becoming just the bot. So that's my mistake. This has to be that. It's not getting any new user content. It's just getting the bot. Okay, so that was my bad. Save it. Debug, compile. See, I'm not perfect, especially when I'm chatting with you guys. I miss my play. I say skip stuff. If I'm just sitting here quietly contemplating and typing in code, I almost never make mistakes. Almost never make mistakes. But when I'm chatting about it and I'm talking about it and I'm trying to do two things at once, yeah, okay, I goofed up. All right, we're going to start this conversation thread new. And we're going to say, hi there. All right, my name is Rick. What's yours? And now it should get it. There we go. Nice to meet you, Rick. I don't have a personal name, but you can call me assistant or anything you'd like. How can I help you today? Let's chat Star Trek. Sure, Rick. See, it's remembering me. Star Trek is a classic. Do you have a favorite series or character? Picard. Great choice. Picard. Are you a fan of the Next Generation series, or did you get into the newer Picard series too? I'm just going to say Next Gen, just like that, because normally by itself, it would have no clue what Next Gen is. Hit enter. And see, now it continues the conversation. It knows what I was talking about. I did the same thing yesterday with a D&D adventure. Let's try a new one. I'll say something like, I'm going to use my voice recognition. Let's see if it can. I don't think I've ever tried it with recording a video at the same time. Let's play a game. I would like you to be a dungeon master for me in a D&D type game. Ready? Okay, great. I'm using Whisper Flow. It's awesome. I love it. And then I just send that. It says, absolutely, I'm ready to start. What kind of character would you like to play? Pick a race, class, maybe a name. Or if you'd like, I can make some suggestions. I'll say, I would like to be a barbarian like Conan, out to avenge the death of his father. All right, and then send it. Great choice. You're a powerful barbarian driven by vengeance. What's your character's name? Also, you any particular weapons or special traits? Let's say my name is Hrothgar. I use a two-handed sword. Let's begin. All right. Dawn breaks over the ashes of your burned village, your father's sword in hand. See? Tracks lead away in the dense snowy forest. Follow the tracks. See? And you can continue playing the game like this. It's really cool stuff. I also did an anatomy quiz for myself. I had it quiz me on all the muscles and bones, and I said, don't repeat any, and it was pretty good. You get a repeat every now and then, but sometimes I think it's just trying to. All right, there is one more bug fix that we have to do now that we've got it working and all this is good. There's one more bug fix I've got in the code. There's delete. Let me move this over so you can see it here. Actually, that's not going to help, is it? Let me move this way. So we've got this delete trailing characters here that we run. It's up here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. After we get the response text, we delete trailing characters because sometimes it comes in with an extra CHR10 or a CHR13 or a new line. But this was causing me problems right here. We're going to remove this if there's a quote at the end because, especially when I was playing this RPG type game, if it ended with a quote, like the wizard says, "I will kill you," and if a double quote was the last thing, then it errored out. So we're just going to get rid of that. So we should be able to handle, it should be able to handle quotes just fine now in the end. So save that, and that should do it. Now, some additional considerations. Right now, we're not saving anything in the database, okay? If you want to save your conversations, it's very easy to do, and I'm going to walk through it in the extended cut. Just take this form, make a table, right, to store your called conversation T or whatever you want to call it. Store an ID, a description, and a thread, which is what I did here in my version, right? I got a conversation table, and you'll see down here I got a conversation ID, a description name, and then the second consideration is the length of the conversation. Now, eventually, if you keep having these long, D&D style conversations or, chatting with it about customer service or whatever you're doing, eventually you're going to run into what's called the context window. Okay? These conversation threads can only be so long. Now, they can be pretty big. In fact, about 100,000 characters is the limit where you are going to start running into problems. But if your threads get that long, remember, every time you talk to the AI, it's got to send that whole thread. So it's going to get slow. The AI has to process through all of that. All right, so in the extended cut also, I'm going to teach you a technique for dealing with that problem. Okay? All right, so that's going to be today's extended cut. We'll learn how to save conversations, have multiple conversations in the database at the same time, and we'll deal with those long threads. All right? Silver members and up get access to all of the extended cut videos, and you've already seen today how being a gold member gives you the ability to download these databases directly from my website. So when I say, hey, we're going to start working from this database, you don't have to build the whole thing yourself. Although you should. You'll learn better that way if you build these databases yourself. But sometimes to follow along with a video like this, it's a good shortcut just to say, hey, this is the starting point. We're going to go grab this guy. It's like what I do during my full course. Right before we start level 7, I'm like, here's the level 6 database. Download this so we're all on the same starting point. Because I know you like to make little changes and little bugs creep in, and you have little differences between what I'm teaching you. This way we're all on the same starting block. So check it out. Join today. I don't know what you're waiting for. I keep telling you, hit that blue join button and, get on board. All right? So that's it. That's going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Hope you had some fun. This is a lot of fun for me. I had a lot of fun. I put this together last night and I couldn't stop playing with it. I was up till like 2 in the morning just goofing around with this thing. Because I've been using ChatGPT forever in the browser, but now you can do this right in your web or in your Access database. It's like really cool. But anyways, live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time, and let me know what did you think. Post your comments down below. Tell me what kind of projects you're planning to build in your database now that you can have real conversations with the AI based on your data. That's cool. All right. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. And make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. Do you need help with your Microsoft Access project? Whether you need a tutor, a consultant, or a developer to build something for you, check out my Access Developer Network. It's a directory I put together personally of Access experts who can help with your project. Visit my website to learn more. Any links or other resources that I mentioned in the video can be found in the description text below the video. Just click on that show more link right there. YouTube's pretty good about hiding that, but it's there. Just look for it. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, tables, all that stuff. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. That's it. And it's free for members of my YouTube channel at any level. Speaking of memberships, if you're interested in joining my channel, you get all kinds of awesome perks. Silver members get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, and there's hundreds of them by now. They also get one free beginner class each month, and yes, those are from my full courses. Gold members get the previous perks plus access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos. Plus you get access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions and all kinds of source code that I use. And gold members get one free expert class every month after completing the beginner series. Platinum members get all of the previous perks, plus they get all of my beginner courses, all of them from every subject, and you get one free advanced or developer class every month after finishing the expert series. And you can become a diamond sponsor and have your name listed on the sponsor page on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.